Dave made this beat.
Welcome to Say Like a Champ, episode 333. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy. Welcome back, Slap fam. What's up, my brother?
What's good, fam? What's going on, man? Another beautiful Tuesday to be together.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know what I'm saying? I got my Slack fam on the right screen. I got the Miami Heat and the Phoenix Suns on my left. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, it's a good day. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a good day.
That's what's up. Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of our Slack fam, I want to give a big shout out really quickly to those already in the chat, but also those that watch later or watching live that aren't chatting. We encourage you guys to just, keep the comments coming, keep the likes coming. Appreciate you being a part of the show. And we're excited to be back with you. So let me get a couple people. We got Pops. Good evening. We got Moms. Hello. We got Kelly. Happy Tuesday. We got Unk in the building, and we got Grace as well.
So Grace.
333. Yeah, it feels kind of like a lucky number, But I do appreciate you guys hanging on with us. It wasn't off to the luckiest start. I had some technical difficulties, but my camera's been acting wonky, and sometimes it doesn't want to connect, and it only does it when we're already running late. So you know how that goes. Also, Stephanie Washington in the building.
Hello, Steph.
Good. Welcome. Thank you for checking in.
Steph, I'm gonna be in your city in March.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's got some big plans for 2026, including a Vegas run, so that's what's up.
Yeah, definitely be in your city.
I still want to go back and do Summer League again.
Oh yeah, I'm with that too.
But it's just so different now. It's just so crazy now. But
yeah, I know.
It used to not be. It used to be like $25 admission, $20, and you could just do the whole day, no big deal. Now it's a little bit crazy. But we digress. Unk asks, when are we selling squares? Actually, we're open now. I think we're giving away like 20 through the season and the regular season winner, which was Unk. Unk first place on that. Stephanie Washington second place. Yeah, we are selling squares now. I think we'll have about 80 left over after the ones we give away. So we have plenty to sell. Just get at me. Get at one of us if you want some. It's for the high five, and we'll do it like that. And I'm super excited because we will have a show the Tuesday before the Super Bowl. We'll do the numbers live like we always do. So so that'll be really dope. All right. So speaking of Super Bowl and the NFL playoffs, I do want to start there with the playoff results for this first week, and maybe do some predictions for next week. And what better place to start than Strizzy, your Panthers? They were the first game of the weekend. Panthers-Rams turned out to be a really good game. But what are your thoughts on your Panthers and how they carried themselves in that game?
I mean, honestly, man, I love the direction that we're going. Like for the last 2017, 9 seasons, 9 years, really
about that time. That's around the time Cam got hurt and pretty much his season was over around that time. So
actually it was the year we started Say Like a Champ.
That's facts.
That was when we were seeing Homeboy was taking over for Cam.
Yeah. So man. So it was nice to see us back in the playoffs, regardless of how they got in there. And we can dive deep into all the BS the final game of the season, but we don't need to do all that. But we got in there, and we everybody had us getting absolutely blown out, and we took the lead towards the end. And honestly, we probably should have won that game. Crazy enough, Bryce actually outplayed Stafford, which is kind of crazy. He had a phenomenal game, and I think Evero killed us. Our defensive coordinator, man, the last drive of the game for the Rams, man, the loosest zone I've ever seen, ever.
Like prevent.
It was so bad, man. They ran the same play like 3 times in a row and just went to, it was like it was like 12 yards, 15 yards, 15 yards. It was like, what? I don't know, man. I don't understand what, when you have that much time left,
and you have a quarterback like that.
Exactly. A zone is not the way to go, because like you literally just allowed them to march downfield and score a touchdown like it was nothing. It was so fast. You know what I mean? Completion
Almost
after completion.
Fast.
No, it was. Like I'm saying, like they literally allowed them chunk plays in the middle of the field, and they went down there like, all right, if y'all gonna give us this much space, we have so much time. You know, you have 25 seconds and no timeouts left. Sure, let them have the ball 10 yards, middle of the field. It's up to them to get that far, and they had to score a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
yeah,
it was one of those things where it's like you had too much time to play that loose of a zone, and it really did. We lost the game because of it. So Evero's getting a lot of heat from all of Panther Nation, but Panther Nation's also extremely pleased with how we did. You know, a lot of people had us getting mopped up, you know, getting killed. You know, it's always hard to play a team, you know, second time of the year. And a lot of times I'd rather be the team that lost earlier in the year than the team, you know, the second, you know how that goes. But really happy with how they played. We definitely need, you know, we need edge rushers and we need linebackers. You know what I mean? Like, those are like the defensive, those are the two things we need harshly. I think as long as Bryce continues to grow, like I'm a rock with him. You know what I'm saying? There's still some things that he struggles to do in regards to just like his size. You know what I mean? Like, they got him listed at like 5'11", 190, but man, we know how sports go. He really probably 5'10", you know what I'm saying? One
I was with something in his pocket. Yeah,
exactly. You know what I mean? So we know how that goes. But I was really pleased with how they played. They did definitely play extremely hard. But man, the drops on the last drive that like sealed it, that kind of sucks. You'd really like to see us go to our top guys, which was Jalen Coker in that game, who's obviously a beast, especially when he's healthy and he's undrafted. You know what I'm saying? So 100-something yards is crazy. And then Ted also has some pretty big gains in that game too. So you would love to see the ball go in those guys' directions, but we didn't, you know. But again, I think depending on what happens with the coaching situation, because I think Harbaugh is going to take either the Giants or the Falcons job. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we win the division again next year too. But you know, we got a lot to do. A lot of time until then too.
Yeah, most definitely. It's early on. Pops, I kind of agree. He said played hard. The drops on the last drive could have won. Should get better.
Yeah.
And Unk says, will the Panthers stay with Bryce Young? I think you kind of answered that, and you yourself saying you would rock with him. I definitely think that they will too. Canales is the type of guy, he's loyal, and he feels like they can make that work, and he did show some growth. So
yeah, he did.
I think with a solid defense and, you know, another year under his belt too, I think he can do it. Pops agrees too. So we'll see. Other games we'll talk about really quickly too. Packers Bears. That was a good game. So between the Rams Panthers and Packers Bears on that Saturday, like, that was two really great games to start off the playoffs. And actually, all the games this weekend were good games until the last two, but most of the games were like, you know, really close games. So Packers Bears, I love that. Bears coming back from a big deficit. I think it was 18-point deficit. It was 21 to 6 or 27 to or 21 to 3, something like that. Yeah, 21 to 3. Them coming back, winning 31 to 27. And you guys know, you know, I'm on record on how I feel about Caleb Williams and definitely rooting for him. He's not the most traditional guy, but at the same time, when you see the throws he can make, the raw arm talent is crazy.
It is.
And now he's connecting with your boy DJ Moore a little bit more. I feel like they're getting in rhythm and they're winning together. We know winning is the best deodorant. Like, that's going to make everything okay.
Facts. I was kind of mad about it too, because it's crazy, because Roma Dunze had to go out in order for him to realize my best wide receiver is DJ Moore. Like, it is not Rome, dog. Like, and I was kind of mad about it, because I was like, possible reunion with DJ Moore, maybe coming back to Carolina. But I think they just realized, like, DJ Moore is the best guy we got. We got to stop playing around, and that's how we're gonna win. You know what I mean? Like, I've talked about DJ for years, like how good he is. Like, 1,000-yard receiver every year, regardless of who's been throwing him the ball, man. And there have been a lot of bad quarterbacking throwing him the ball. So the fact that he can continue, you know, do what he does is pretty actually insane, man. So I completely agree. Get that man the ball.
Side note too, as a Cowboys fan, love seeing the Packers go out because that means the Cowboys pick that they got from Micah Parsons is even better.
Yeah.
They talked about the Packers coach potentially being in trouble, but I don't feel like there's anything serious there. I feel like he's a good young coach. So I don't think that they've said anything, but there's a lot of rumor about him being gone. Real quick, do you think they move on from their coach?
I guess it depends, right? Like you look at some of the guys that are currently out there. You look at like, okay, Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, obviously, which we'll probably get to in a few. Can you guarantee you grab maybe one of those top guys, maybe even a Robert Saleh, how well he's doing, over there in Ninerland. But if you can't, you don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think you're going to really find a better coach. LaFleur has actually done a really good job over the last couple of years. And if we're being completely honest, man, like I like Love. I like him, but I think my problem with him though is the fact that there are some games where he looks lights out, right? It's like, this dude's about to be,
next thing.
coming with like Patrick Mahomes. It's like, and then the following game is the complete opposite.
Yeah,
like complete opposite. You're like what are you doing now? You know what I mean? It's like that. So I don't know, man. I don't know what they need exactly. From a receiver standpoint too, it's like they don't really have a clear cut guy. They have like 4 receivers. You know what I mean? That are constantly in rotation.
And they're all like, none of them are like great, but they're all like really solid to good.
Exactly. So I mean, that's a good thing to have. Like they're not bad receivers. It's like any day, somebody else is, top guy. You know what I mean? One day it's Romeo Dobbs, one day it's Christian Watson, the next day, end of the game it was Golden Tate. He was killing them. You know what I mean? So it just depends. But I don't know. I can't really see him leaving. Not this year, but I would say his seat is hot next year. You can't go up like that after being kind of the big brother for the Bears all these years and then give up 18 points and lose the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We'll see. I think I think he's safe there too. There was even some rumors that they might trade him, that makes the most sense to trade him because he has value, but I don't know. It's just crazy with so many coaching openings. Do you want to get into that mix and try to go find a guy or compete for one of those best guys? That makes it tough. All right, next up, Bills Jaguars. Jaguars put up a great fight, and Bills came back in the end. I feel like it was kind of a weird flow to that game. But at the end of the day, like I did expect the Bills to win one way or another. But that was another game, a lot of fourth quarter lead changes. But Josh Allen, he's like, I'm not ready to go down quite like that. That would have been crazy. That would have been too crazy if they got bounced right away. So
I was never worried about that game. No matter what it looked like, I was like, Bills are going to win this game. Like, Josh Allen's going to come through. This is his year. Like, if he don't get it done this year, he might never get it done. You know what I'm saying? So, right now, for me, I got Bills Niners in the Super Bowl, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Pops on the Packers, I missed this one. He said Love needs better play calling and Golden to step up to be a big play threat.
Yeah.
But I think play calling is pretty good, though, especially when they run the ball, though. Agrees Bills better cash in this year. We have a few comments, too, about the coaching situations. I'm going to get to those in just a second for sure, but keep the comments coming. I see some from Stephanie and Ankh as well. Okay, next up, Eagles, Niners. That was another really good game. Eagles had some different opportunities, but they kind of showed us exactly who they were this season. Yeah, like their whole season is kind of wrapped up into this game of like how they played as far as like what they're capable of, but, kind of what happens. Yeah, so they are going to move away from their offensive coordinator. Yeah, but they're talking like that he's not going to be in that role, which means I feel like he's going to end up staying on the staff, which is like, okay, you're not that mad at him, but you're just going to make a change up. I'm not sure what that ends up looking like, but they didn't say they fired him. So that was kind of interesting. But happy for the 49ers. It sucks for Kittle going down the way he did. That'll be a season-ending injury and go into next year as well. Yeah. But the 49ers did get it done, and I just don't know if it was more about like what they did right or what the Eagles did wrong or a mix of both, Yeah. But I do like the 49ers' chances against the Seahawks next week, even though they're playing them again. Like this is going to be the second time in 3 weeks, essentially. Yep. We talked about how hard it is to beat a team twice, but what do you feel about 49ers Eagles?
Pretty much everything you basically just said. I think their problems their problems just stem from offensive coordination. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they never were able to really get it done. Obviously, they were one of the best running teams last year and the best offensive lines last year. They still have a great offensive line. It's just I think when the offensive coordinator changes and things of that nature, like things get more difficult. You know what I'm saying? So I think if they can get the right offensive coordinator for that team, the right offensive coordinator, I don't even want to say about Jalen Hurts because I'm not about to come down on Jalen Hurts. This man they've literally been winning games since the day he's been, started playing for them. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't need to be Josh Allen or Mahomes, you know what I'm saying? Or even Lamar Jackson. Like he just needs to make sure he gets things done. Don't turn the ball over, get the ball where it needs to be when those wide receivers numbers get called.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are talking about, AJ Brown needs to be traded, but if they let him go, they're going to take a $20 million cap hit. It makes more sense financially to get rid of Sirianni and the offensive coordinator than it does to get rid of AJ Brown. So I don't think he's going anywhere, honestly. But at the same time, too, like, dog, you dropped the ball game times. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're upset about getting the ball. Like, so many big plays
Your head's not in it.
Yeah, we're going to you, and you dropped them. Like, in your hands, too. They were great passes. You know what I'm saying? Like, to the point where only you could get to him, and he fumbled the rock. You know what I mean? So he can be upset all he wants to, but, like, his production ain't entirely on the offensive coordinator or Jalen Hurts, man. Like, he got to produce too when his number's called. So he needs to take a look in the mirror and figure that stuff out. But they got a Super Bowl already. So if he continues to be a headache, I'd probably be like, you know what, forget it, get him out of there. But man, I put so much money on the Niners. I was never in doubt this past weekend. It was never in doubt. I knew they were going to win. I don't know why. It was just gut feeling. I just knew the Niners were going to win. I was never scared at any point in time, and they came through for your boy. So hats off to them. What they've done all year with the roster and all the injuries is absolutely insane. Wish they were healthy because I feel like this would be so much easier if they were. But it's looking like they might get Fred Warner back if they make it to the NFC Championship game. And for some reason, I do think they're going to beat the Seahawks this week. So, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I know Kelly is rooting for that as well. But yeah, I know we both actually picked the Niners. We were kind of having a feeling about them, but yeah, I think it would be cool if they go far. I think the crazy thing is the NFC West is almost guaranteed to represent the NFC. They got the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Niners all together. Obviously the Bears are still out there for the NFC North, but they have a 3-4 chance in representing the NFC for the Super Bowl. So it's going to be one of those teams. Stephanie says she's rooting for Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. But yeah, Pops agrees with Unc that Philly is kind of a soap opera and drama type of a team.
Big times.
But I feel like once everybody does get their ring, it shouldn't change things, but it kind of does, because there's just not quite the same amount of pressure or, a little bit more of that person, that personal interest gets involved when it shouldn't. I feel like when you don't have that and when everybody's hungry on the same page, like you could put that stuff aside, but True. Next up, these games is not as much to talk about. Patriots, Chargers. Patriots went in there and defense bottled up Herbert. I know Herbert gets a pass because he's young and he has so much talent, but it's like also like you ain't getting that young no more. Like you gotta put up at some point.
Man, not for me. Like Lamar, Lamar don't get that type of love.
Yeah.
He don't get that type of pass. Like and Lamar's made it to the AFC Championship game. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times we talk about Lamar like he ain't been to the AFC Championship game. Like he doesn't have 2 MVPs. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. We want him to win a Super Bowl, right now. But a lot of these guys, Joe Burrow's still living off his 1 Super Bowl run. You know what I mean? And Justin Herbert he hasn't a playoff win yet. Yeah. And like we let him off the hook like this. And it's gotten to the point where it's like he just might just be a regular season dude. You know what I'm saying? And the offense was so bad the second half of the season. It was bad, you know what I mean? And again in that game, and the Patriots defense has been good, but teams have been able to score.
Yeah.
They've also been able to run the ball against them as well. So it was kind of weird to see like the offense and all their guys are healthy, right? You know, you got your receivers are all healthy. Obviously Hampton isn't fully healthy, but he's also a rookie. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like you're not really looking at him to save the day anyway. So I don't know, man. I don't really know what we do with Herbert yet. Obviously, it's only year 2 under Harbaugh's system, things like that. But I don't know. I feel like he's been left off the hook quite a bit, considering they completely faltered against the Jags last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you lose to a rookie quarterback in the Patriots this year. So I don't know, man. He definitely needs to. He got to get a playoff win. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Like, because otherwise, it's like, what are you really doing for us?
Yeah, and this is now 6 full seasons, and like he's still kind of young in the game, but at the same time, like, okay, for all that talent, we need to see it materialize.
For sure. Exactly.
The rounded out the weekend on Monday Night Football last night, Texans 30, Steelers 6. Even though this game was 7-6 for the most part, and a very competitive defensive game until the Texans got 2 defensive scores with their offensive touchdown in the middle there too. So all of a sudden they kind of beat them down a little bit. Aaron Rodgers' last game, more than likely. And also we know for sure Mike Tomlin's last game, at least as the Steelers head coach. So I almost feel like that was a foregone conclusion that something was going to happen. But I do like the Steelers make it a little bit more respectful. And maybe this was a Tomlin decision as well. But at the same time, even if they were like ready for a change, they're like, let's let this guy go out on his own term after 19 years, after everything he's done for us. That's something the Ravens didn't really let Harbaugh do, actually, which is interesting. But two legendary coaches from the same division too,
I know,
who have had a ton of success. The teams are moving on from. So I thought that was a pretty interesting twist to that. But what did you think about the Tomlin situation?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Me and Ant were cracking up earlier today. Like, wouldn't it be hilarious if they just switch spots?
Yeah,
Harbaugh goes to the Steelers and Tomlin goes to the Ravens. It'd be wild.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, it's crazy. Like you said, both of those coaches have a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? They both won a Super Bowl with their respective teams. I laugh because I talked about Harbaugh was really on the verge of being fired before Joe Flacco got injured and Lamar came in. Like, he was not having a good couple of years after that Super Bowl run. Yeah. And it was looking like he was going to get let go that year, but Lamar legitimately saved his job. So he got a couple more years with Lamar's help. And when Lamar goes down, they lost damn near every game. The games that Lamar has missed for the last 3 seasons, they lost like all but 2 of them, I think, or something like that. So that's not good. It also shows how important Lamar is and the fact that he really is the MVP, or an MVP. And but it is kind of weird, 19 seasons. It shows the Steelers' patience. So I do think whoever coaches them next, we'll have time. I mean, they're not expecting someone to come in and make them Super Bowl worthy, year 1. So I mean, love them or hate them, the Pittsburgh is a great organization. You know what I'm saying? They have been for years. They have multiple Super Bowls and Super Bowl appearances. So they'll be fine, man. But yeah, going back to the Texans defense, man. All that offense has to do is just put some points on the board. It don't even matter how much. The defense is going to do the rest. They might actually be one of the best hitting defenses without getting like penalties that we've seen. One of the best. Not saying the best, but they do not miss tackles.
Physical, they hit.
They're physical, they hit. They don't miss tackles. They're just phenomenal getting to the dog. He had 4 fumbles and 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
You don't win that game.
Yeah, and only give up 6 points.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they couldn't even capitalize on all of those turnovers. That's 6 turnovers from your quarterback, and they were his fault. It wasn't like, the receiver. No, man, they were his fault. Like, he was just horrible game by CJ Stroud that night. That defense is so elite, man. So whoever they play going forward is going to have to not turn the ball over and just be able to outscore their offense somehow. But that defense is so crazy.
Yeah, they are nasty. And I agree, to survive all that. I mean, they only gave up 6 points to the Steelers. And like you said, they weren't able to capitalize on those turnovers from CJ Stroud. And it's funny because like the Texans literally when Davis Mills came in for CJ Stroud, there was like no drop off, and they were actually like almost more stable because
Yeah.
he just like played like very consistent. And he wasn't gonna like make anything crazy, but he was gonna drive you down and try to get you in the field goal range at least. At best, maybe a touchdown here and there. That's all they really need is like a game manager, control the clock, play defense. But as far as that defense goes, I've never seen like quite like this a coach who like created like players that play like him when he played. Like D'Amico Ryan's was such a good linebacker, but like he had all that discipline and he had all of that like talent and like that knowledge and like the way he studies and everything like that. He somehow like put that into his defense, like, and it's so crazy because they all play like that, and they're pretty they're like you said they're physical. They don't make it fun on the offense. So
no, not at all.
Yeah,
like
we'll see.
They could like Steelers couldn't get nothing going, dog. Like they were going nowhere, bro. It's like
and they haven't been a total juggernaut either, but you know,
oh, for sure. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, you're right. Like Pittsburgh's offense ain't nothing nice anyway, but you know, it was like all those turnovers, all that field advantage from the turnovers, like they couldn't get nothing, man. Like so it was like I said, all the Texans offense got to do is just put up a couple of field goals and the defense will do the rest.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that does look like we've talked about since, you know, kind of mid this year or more, like that's a championship defense, it looks like. So we'll see. But yeah, talking to Mike Tomlin, kind of fast forwarding that into the coaching carousel, there are now 9 availabilities, almost a third. You know, it would be like almost a third of the league basically looking for a new head coach. And so again, I like to ask, like, you know, who would be the best situation? But we have Cardinals, Titans, Steelers, Giants, Dolphins, Raiders, Ravens, Falcons, and Browns. That's crazy. The Dolphins is another one, Mike McDaniel, that we didn't get a chance to talk about because I think he got fired like last Wednesday or Thursday, right after our previous show. And then we didn't talk about we talked about Harbaugh. So I don't know though. Dolphins now and Steelers being out there, those are some powerhouse franchises as well, like in some legacy type of franchises. But I'm not exactly sure which way these things will go. But I'm excited for some coaches to start getting hired because there's so many candidates flinging around. But it's like these spots going to start getting locked up at some point. I almost feel like Harbaugh is like the first one to go though. Once he gets hired, then some other choices will happen because I feel like a lot of people are going all in on him.
Oh, 100%. That's the reason why we haven't seen some of these lesser teams hire yet, because the lesser teams tend to hire their coaches pretty quickly. You know what I mean? They're just like, you know, we need somebody new. Let's grab, you know, the best possible candidate. But I think as soon as Harbaugh and then maybe even Tomlin figure out where they're going, then everything else will trickle down. Once these teams realize, okay, we can't get Harbaugh, we can't get Tomlin, then they'll start going after who else they wanted. You know what I mean? But until then, I think it's once those guys go off, then the rest of the league will start picking up their coaches. But right now, I can't see anybody getting hired until they figure out where they want to go.
Yeah. Pop said Mike supposedly will not coach next year, under contract until 2027. I did hear that there's a lot of TV networks that apparently had a standing job offer for him. Basically, that was like, if you're not coaching, you can come rock with us. So so he might actually, they're talking, might just step away altogether. But Harbaugh, he has so many suitors. He said he's going to screen the teams, and he's going to decide who he's going to interview with, which that's when you know you're in a good spot. When you can say, hold on a second, I'll see whose offer I want to consider. So that's pretty gangster. But we'll talk definitely more about the coaching carousel. But I feel like the Mike Tomlin thing was pretty crazy. But 7 consecutive playoff losses, that is a lot of times to go one and done in the playoffs and just be done. So we'll see. Unk says Mike McDaniel's going to Atlanta. I almost feel like he might go back to being an offensive coordinator.
I think he is too.
Yeah,
I think he is too. I don't know why I think that. I just think he's going back to being OC. I think we talked about this last Tuesday. I think Atlanta or New York Giants. That's where Harbaugh's going to go. One of those two, and then it'll kind of trickle down from there. But both of those places to me are where, like, if you're one of the better coaches, the rosters on both of those teams are nice. The Atlanta Falcons defense is fire. You know what I'm saying? So Harbaugh and Tomlin, both kind of defensive-minded coaches. You know what I mean? The Giants have a great pass rush, Probably need to work on the secondary a little bit, but linebackers and the pass rush is great.
And they
you
have
also
offensive pieces. Yeah,
exactly. They have so many offensive pieces too. You get Neighbors back. Wandell Robinson had a really good year when Neighbors went out. Obviously, you got Scatterboo, then you got your quarterback and Lamar Jackson Dart. So,
right.
So I think it'll be fine there.
Yeah, I think that would be a good spot. And yeah, we'll see. But once he falls, then some other ones will go. So we'll definitely keep everybody up to date on the coaching carousel. Next week's games, though, too. I guess we should talk about those really quickly. Bills, Broncos, 49ers, Seahawks, Texans, Patriots, and Rams, Bears. So we got our Super Bowl winner in here somewhere, but it's down to 8 teams. That Rams Bears that's a pretty good game because both of those teams have won so many times, like in the last minute. I think they're like tied for I think each team has like 7 or 8 victories that came like with a score within the last minute of the game. That's pretty wild. The Rams, I just feel like as long as they play up to their potential, they should be it, but they like mess around or something happens. I don't know what it is. Mom says she's looking for Rams 49ers matchup to get to the Super Bowl, but Rams need to get it together. Yeah, they do, but I feel like they're so capable too. She said Texans tried to fumble it away. I agree, they did, but you can't do that against the Patriots. I mean, I think that's a really good matchup though too. I can see either of those teams winning that game, but the Patriots have a really good defense too, and they have the better offense of the two, so maybe.
Yeah, they do.
But what about? Yeah. I wanted to hear what you thought about the Bills Broncos though.
Bills Broncos. Oh yeah, it's tricky, man. Again, like I think the Bills, they're a really hard team to match offensively. They are very well coached. Obviously, Josh Allen is a much better quarterback than Bo Nix, obviously. Yeah. And if they have a great running game. Right now for me, the Broncos, it's just their defense is they're kind of like a better version of the Texans to me, right? Like, and I only say that in regards to because their offense is slightly better, right? Mm-hmm. If I had to pick between both defenses, were both super strong, I'm probably going with Houston, not by much, but offensively, I'm probably taking Denver by a lot, and their offense isn't that great either, right? Yeah. So I just think I think that the Bills can make plays on defense and they can get turnovers. They've been one of the better turnover teams defensively in the league this year, actually. But I don't know if Broncos can score with the Bills. Yeah. So if they turn the ball over once or twice and the Bills capitalize, I think it's going to be really difficult for them to kind of catch up. Even though they've been kind of that fourth quarter comeback team all year, playoffs is different. You only get so many possessions. You know what I mean? And yeah. So I don't know. I still like the Bills in this one. Like I said, I got the Bills going to the Super Bowl. But who knows, man? We've seen some wild things.
Yeah, we have, and I don't know too, because it's funny. What I like about this though is this is a rematch from Wild Card last year, and the Broncos actually hung in with the Bills during the first quarter, second quarter ish, and then they ended up getting kind of blown out. But they showed that they could kind of hang, and they got a little experience. Now they're the 1 seed. Now they're the home field advantage. Now they're coming off of a bye and they're hosting the Bills, so it's kind of a role reversal, but at the same time, I'm with you. I feel like the Bills still have a touch more experience and a touch more dangerous. So I'm probably going with the Bills in that one too. But that one's going to be a good game. I'm rooting for the Broncos, but I think I'm going with the Bills with my head. So we'll see. I do like those matchups though. It'd be crazy if it ends up being Patriots Bills for the Super Bowl too.
Yeah.
I wonder if that'd be the first time where you'd have 2 teams like from each division on both sides of the championship games. That would be crazy.
That would be wild.
Like it's all coming from this one conference. All right, so that's what's up though with NFL playoffs though, and like we said, we'll kind of keep up to date with the coaching carousel. We'll continue to bring our predictions and such as we whittle it down, but we're getting really close. Only 3 more weekends of football. We got this weekend, the conference championships, and then the Super Bowl. So man, it's crazy. It's coming to a close. What else is coming to a close? College football. I want to talk about college football playoff. The final on Monday. We got Miami against Indiana, and Indiana just came out and curb stomped Oregon the same way they did Alabama. It's pretty bad. Literally the first play of the game, pick six. So they start up, just being up 7-0, and then had a couple of turnovers right there in Oregon territory and capitalized right away. So that was never really a good game, but the Miami Ole Miss was a good game. And you talked about the U coming back to the top and being there. That was a really awesome game. A lot of fourth quarter changes. But Miami and Carson Beck kind of getting it done with that last drive. And then they almost the Panthers by playing way too soft and letting Ole Miss get a chance at the end there. But I like Miami going in, and it's funny, they were the 10 seed. They were essentially the team that scraped their way in, right?
Yep.
And was considered like on the bubble, and and that they might get pushed out. And here they are in the playoff final. So I think that's really dope. But I also want to know, do you think they have a chance against Indiana the way things have been looking?
What? No, I want them to. Obviously, I want Miami to win, man. I really do. I want Miami to get this dub.
Yeah.
How I feel about Indiana right now is just kind of how I felt about Ohio State last year. It was just like, I just don't know how they lose. You know what I mean? Like even this year, Ohio State's offense just wasn't as good, as it was, last year. But when they lost to Indiana, it was such a defensive, hard-fought game, and then obviously they go down early this year. But Indy's just like, it's almost looking effortless, dog. Like they got it, like you said, beat the brakes off Bama, beat the brakes off Oregon, and now don't get me wrong, like I think Miami, like their fans gonna be loud. Obviously, they got so many of their
home field
alumni there.
Yeah, it's not exactly home field, but it kind of is because you're in your home stadium. Yeah,
exactly.
It'll be a different crowd, but it'll still be familiar.
For sure. Like that's their place. You know what I'm saying? So Indiana's they're just really, really good, man. And I think the thing that I love about Indiana so far this year is that most programs play a certain style of football, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like they win or lose playing their style of football. Indiana is like, oh, your defense is weak against your secondary's trash. Oh, we're gonna throw it 40 times, 50 times against you. Oh, you
can't stop the run.
Yeah, we're gonna do that too. Oh, like they switch it up no matter what, and they can do that from week to week. So just shows how good the coaching is there, and just shows how special. Was it Fernando? What's the name?
Fernando Mendoza.
Fernando Mendoza, yeah, exactly. The quarterback just shows how special he is too, man. So I don't know, dude. Like I'm rooting for Miami, but they got a tough task ahead of them, dog.
Yeah, they do. They really do. It's gonna be crazy. I just hope it's a good game, but I agree. I think Indiana is just looking really, really tough. And like we talked about, this possibly go down as one of the greatest college football seasons. I think they're averaging they average over 40 points a game, and they give up like less than 10. So and that's of course all year, but that's kind of continued in the playoffs because that's how they're beating teams in the playoffs so far. So we'll see. Mom says, I hope Indiana takes it. But Kelly saying this, I saw earlier in Smirk, I can't root for Beck winning Indy all the way. How come you can't root for Beck? It's really, he did what was best for him. And I do feel like to a certain extent, like Georgia kind of turned away from him. They were like, all right, like once he got injured at the end of last year, they were like, all right, Gunnar Stockton's our guy. Like we need to move forward and kind of turn the page. Yep. He got to go down to Miami, make $6 million and has a chance to win the national championship. So I can root for that. Like I feel like he did what's best for him, especially because Cam Ward went number 1 in the draft. He's like, oh, I can just kind of do what he did, go there for 1 year, clean up my image, make my money. That's pretty cool. So, Stephanie says, I think the Raiders will pick up Mendoza. I do think so. Absolutely. I think that's what the move will be for the Raiders.
It would be crazy for them not to, especially they don't really have anybody right now. You know what I'm saying? Like Aiden O'Connell isn't really.
Yeah, they need they need their guy. And I missed this one, or I meant to bring this one up earlier, kind of along those lines. Stephanie said Harbaugh to the Raiders. That would be crazy. I don't know if he would pick there, but what would be dope is that's like a blue blood franchise. That's like a franchise that, is a classic NFL franchise. So it's kind of a legacy there. And, Brady obviously has closer ties with the other Harbaugh, but, hey, maybe it kind of runs in the family, and if they do get a good quarterback, they have a great ownership group. They have a great stadium. They have a great culture. So
Yeah.
hey, and probably less pressure to do something right away, which is the other thing that might look attractive. So I think that would be pretty dope. I just feel like he's gonna pick somewhere else that might be a little bit more
Enticing.
like at least Mom said he was going in the draft but backed out. The reason he was going to go in the draft is because they said, "Dude, you're not our guy no more." So he had to move on. Yeah, and I feel like Georgia did it was kind of like a natural parting of the ways, but I still feel like he did great for Georgia. He won 2 national championships with Georgia, not obviously as the starter, but he had a great run with them where we only lost 1 game and then beat down Florida State in the Orange Bowl. So he was a good dog. He did his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I still root for him. I think he made the right decision going there and making that money for sure. All right. We'll see though. I still don't think that they can actually do it though. So we'll see.
Feel that.
Other quick news, MLB is kind of heating up. Nolan Arenado coming to the Diamondbacks. Now, this isn't the same kind of guy that we, remember or whatever. His last couple of seasons haven't been as great, but we'll see what he can do for the Diamondbacks. But that was like a little move that happened that could kind of help them, kind of stack their roster a little bit, get a little bit more star power on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just excited because baseball is going to be starting in about a month. Spring training. They'll start reporting, and then spring training will start in kind of early March. So that's really exciting that baseball is going to be coming back. What happens with that? Kelly said, I liked him playing for UGA for sure. For sure. I did too.
Yeah.
But that's all that we got really. NBA, still nothing too crazy, but the Thunder are kind of coming back to earth, and the Spurs are really making a run too. So
yeah, they are.
It's kind of been an interesting playoff chase in the West. Of course, we know the West is really stacked, but kind of seeing the Thunder obviously they're going to make the playoffs, but they're kind of looking a little bit more vulnerable than they were at the start of the season. So
definitely.
You talked about your Heat playing the Suns. Pop said John Morant needs to Miami Heat is struggling, need Morant, and Morant needs good, tough coach. What would you think about him going there?
I don't know. It sucks because it's one of those things where it's like we've seen the talent. You know what I mean? Like we've seen him be one of the top point guards in the league in both points and assists, and obviously he can jump out the building. And yes, I do think Spo would be a perfect coach for it. But can you stop the BS, right? Like, if you're here, like you're in Miami, man, like there's a lot more trouble to get into Miami than there is Memphis. I can tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, can you stay out the news? Can we trust you to be here? Yeah. Also, too, it's like we're already a pretty guard heavy team. So it's like, what are we giving up for Ja? I don't know. It's tricky. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Tyler Hero has been great for us the last couple of years. He's been great. Powell's also been great all season. You know what I mean? It's like, so what are you going to come in here and do for us that these other guards haven't been able to do for us? You know what I'm saying? And, you talk about someone's trade stock being down. I feel like Ja's trade stock is down. Like, his points are down. His assists are down. Obviously, his playing time is a little down, but not enough. Not enough. You know what I mean? To be like, oh yeah, it's just his stats are down because his minutes are down. They're not that closely related. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Obviously, he's not happy, so that could also play a role in it too. You know what I mean? Like he wants to leave. He has voiced that he no longer wants to play for Memphis. But I just want to get into another scary Terry situation. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's not a John Morant style player, but just don't know if I want another player like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. It's crazy that the word on the street or around the NBA street was basically that Trae Young, John Morant, and our boy LaMelo Ball basically have like no trade value. Even though they're stars and even though they can do a lot, the way they play and kind of the things around them are kind of hurting their value. So we saw Trae Young obviously did get traded to the Wizards. for CJ McCollum and I can't remember the other player right now, but
Yeah, I'm gonna put his name.
the Hawks were doing good without Trae Young, so I think it was time for a fresh start.
Yeah,
But at the same time, he's another guy where it's kind of tough because like they built the team around him and was just like, go do you. And then as other players started getting better, they're like, oh, this ain't working. It's like, well, that's how he was kind of set up to play.
yeah.
But I think it's going to work out better for everybody involved. So we'll see.
Oh, for sure. I think that's what he wanted because it didn't make sense to me at all for him to want to go to the Wizards because that's where he wanted to go. So it was like, of all places, that's where you want to go. But I think, like you said, he just wants to be able to go out and take 30 shots a game and not have to worry about winning. You know what I mean? Just like, I just want to go out there and score 50 every night, or at least go for 50 every night. So,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I kind of think so too. He's just like, let me just be open and free and just run amok. And so that's another thing going on in basketball world. But I don't know. We'll see if Morant does get traded, but I think he will. Trade deadline I think is like the February 5th, something like that.
5th.
Yeah. Yep. So it's coming up pretty soon. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll be watching that. But maybe that Trae Young trade was the first trade to kind of kick off a few other ones. So we'll see. Pop said heard ASU QB is going to LSU. That is true. And we're going to have to do like a big portal rundown as well. But I think we'll wait a couple weeks until after the college football playoff until some moves start kind of slowing down. So that way we kind of can just kind of do it all at once or at least talk about the big names moving because definitely the portal is a crazy experience for college football right now.
For sure.
Adds a whole nother level to it. It's like cool though because it's kind of like college free agency, you know?
Mm-hmm. It really is.
It's pretty dope. And it's cool to see these kids get paid even though it's a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Good stuff. I think we'll slow it down right there. Yep. But again, we'll continue to track everything and excited to watch another weekend in NFL playoffs. It should be a good one. But make sure you get your picks out there. Pops actually won last week in the tiebreaker. We had like 4 or 5 people that had 5 picks right.
Yeah.
And I'm kicking myself because I actually missed the start of the Panthers-Rams. And I don't know why I spaced it. And then I looked up and I turned the game on and I realized I didn't do my pick. So that was one I gave away. But it's all good though. So don't be like me. Get your picks in, and we'll continue to give out those Super Bowl squares. And Unc, hit us up. Let us know how many you want, and anybody else that wants to buy some. We are taking orders so we can get that grid filled up.
Yeah.
All right.
Get mine as well.
Yeah, for sure. We'll pick out some good ones, but do want to give a shout out to our brother Man Marcus as well. I know he's very busy, but we love him very much, and I think that's it.
Yes,
we'll see you next time on episode 334. But until then, it's your boy A-Dub
and your boy Strizzy.
Peace.